Now, this being a recording may sound weird, but it's something that really helps. Say you have, like, just a lot of phlegm in your lungs, or you've got a cold of some sort that's getting in your, like, bronchioles in your throat area, or you have, or you're a smoker, or a weed smoker, or a cigarette smoker, by any chance, any of these things. I call it the 21 lung salute. And I know it may sound silly, but I just one day, because I was sick of having so much phlegm, because I smoke a lot of weed, at least at this point I smoked a lot more. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. And then I remembered a couple of years ago, after I had had my experience, like I said, sometimes things that happened in this lifetime when I was 5 seem like they're happening right now. But of course I'm remembering them, so they seem like they were just now happening. Just not like any memory of any time ago. It's just, I remember it right now. And the same thing happens with other lifetimes. Now, one day I remembered that I was doing that, and everyone knows that sometimes you can go, and get like a nice phlegm clump out of your throat. Well, one day I was angry when I did it because I couldn't clear my throat. I was trying to sing, and I kept going, and cracking this note when I was doing the show. And I know that if I go and do that, like that phlegmy sound when you do the or you go or like add any kind of R-C-K kind of noise to it, it will start damaging because that air must, I think it's like the way I'm trying to put it into words, I can feel it and see it, but the way it vibrates in your throat is because you're blocking the path with some kind of tongue movement that makes it go or like that, and you like clog it with the tongue, and it restricts it so the air that's flowing through there vibrates faster in between different areas, and sometimes it'll damage the stuff in your throat just because it's vibrating so hard. So if you keep your tongue or your mouth just way open, you don't have to have your tongue anywhere specific. You can have it at the bottom of your mouth, you can have it out of your mouth, you can have it over to the side of your mouth, whatever you want to do. But just, I do it 21 times because 3 is this important, powerful number, like 3, 6, 9, and 12, and it just keeps going on and on and on, and all the numbers come from 9, which is 10, which is, it don't want to get into too much stuff because people go, what are you talking about? But anyway, so with the 21 lung salute, you basically just make sure you don't make any hawker sounds, put it that way. And I don't want to sound funny, but no sounds that are like, or anything like that. Just, and like breathe into your nose real deep. 1 time. 2 times. 3 times. And just do it 21 times, because that pattern done, you can do it 30 times. Like do it patterns of 3s, things that add up to a multiple of 3, only because from coming from what was to what is, it's a pattern. It happens that way. It may not make sense, but in every way it is so. In numbers, patterns, signs, symbols, and in action, and in just the way things happen. 3rd time's a charm. So you want to do it in patterns of 3. You don't just think it. You're conscious, you think it, you do it. There's 3 patterns, so everything is 3rd time's a charm. So C is a concept becoming character or becoming a constant. So I don't want to get into that weird stuff, but the 21 lung salute really helps. Now, let me say this really interesting thing here, because I think a lot of people may be able to put together a reason of why they want to do certain things and don't get them accomplished. But then when it comes to something else, it's not so hard. Like, say, an action is so much easier to complete than a mental action or something that is broken up into different periods of time. Say, you're running right now for 100 yards. If you didn't have a good attention span, you'd take 2 steps and be like, nah, I don't feel like doing this anymore. But people themselves want to do things in their life, but if it's not happening at this moment, they don't do it until it presents itself again, and they don't keep it on their mind. They don't make sure that they're still running that 100 yards straight ahead, and they're not going to stop even if it's not time to run at this moment because the course or the road or the track isn't there. But like in life, you have a goal, and you have to make sure that every day you run that mile or you run that 100 yards. You're going to do it every day, whatever it is that it's going to take to get you towards your thing. Like, it's a physical action now. You find the physical action that takes that mental thing that you want become more real. It may not become specifically all the way concrete yet, but when you make sure that you put that 100 yards or that mile a day into your mental action, moving closer to a physical truth, that's a good way to use that analogy of, because when you're in the middle of a physical action, like if someone says, here, dig this hole, and hands you a shovel, it's pretty easy to start digging and finish digging unless you get too tired, or if you're just really lazy, or you just don't want to do it, or something like that. But to do something when you're in the act of it, it's really easy to do. But when you go, I'm going to write this song, or I'm going to, grow a garden, or I'm going to really start taking care of my health, or I'm really going to start checking into, nutrition or something like that, and it takes your mental effort to push that action, look at it like that 100 yards or that mile a day scenario, and it'll help you a little bit as long as you apply it to yourself. I can say it, and I can give you ideas so that you can use them and be like, I'm going to make sure that I do this. Every day I'm going to make sure I do this. And if I skip a day, I'm not going to hate myself for it. If I skip a week or a month, as long as I get back to it, it's okay. If I don't, of course, it's human nature, and I still love myself anyway. But we're still trying to work on making that mile a day or that 100 yards a day. Just make sure you push your mental actions into physical actions. Okay? Hope that helps. And the 21 lung salute, that definitely helps too. Because next thing you know, you were like, I can't even find phlegm when I try. So those two kind of little things will help you. One, to help you clear your throat, breathe better, speak better. And the other one, to get your mental focus more on point and give yourself a little trick to maybe point it in the right way. All right? I love you guys. Peace.